Well, good morning, channel, and welcome back. You'll remember a few weeks ago I posted a video about the new wireless quad lock phone charger that I purchased, and I was looking for a way to get it wired up because the phone charger itself needs power, so I've got to have a power source. And then when I put my phone on it, in order for my Apple CarPlay to work, the phone has to be connected to the bike. And before, I've connected it through the USB cable that sits in the glove box. And so I've got to get that connection again, and I'm just trying to figure out how. And I think I've solved both problems. I thought for a while, can I just pull the USB cable out of the glove box, the center glove box, through the grommet, replace the grommet, and somehow route the USB up closer to my handlebars, but I don't really want to do that. I like the option of having the USB inside the glove box for whatever reason in the future. So I have on order something I'm going to try. A few people have recommended it, and hopefully it works pretty well. And that's a wireless CarPlay dongle or adapter that I can hook up to the USB cable inside the glove box. And then it wirelessly connects to my phone and creates the ability to run Apple CarPlay on the bike. We're going to try it out. So that solves that problem, and I don't have it yet. So that's another install later, and it's a simple plug and play install. So I probably won't be doing a video on that, although I'll comment on whether it works or not in a future video. But then power. What do I do about power? I have a solution for that too. All right, this is the quad lock wireless docking station for my phone. I also bought the vibration dampening attachment so that it won't vibrate my phone. Not that the Goldwing vibrates very much, but just to protect the phone. Little extra cost, no big deal. And then the RAM mount ball on the bottom, and I have the, as you guys know, the RAM mount on the left-hand handlebar that I installed. So we will be connecting it together with all that. In the past, I've seen videos where, even though this is weatherproof, people had trouble with where the cable, the power cable connects in here. Used to be just a flat open connection here, and it was not weatherproof. When it got wet, there was exposed connection there, USB-C or USB-A, C, sorry. Anyway, they've redesigned this, creating this sheath, and then the connecting cable has sort of a ribbed washer type connection that goes in there and I think creates the wireless connection. So that's good. Not wireless connection, I'm sorry. Creates the weatherproof connection, and I think it truly is weatherproof now. So anyway, power. What am I going to do about power? Recently purchased this waterproof 12 volt to USB smart adapter. So this thing, let's do a quick unboxing here. It connects directly to your battery. Starting to get a few things connecting directly to the battery. All right. Connects directly to your battery using just these ring connectors, right? Has a fuse built in line. That's always good. Then connects to this apparatus, which has an automatic switch to turn on or off the power, because when I turn on the bike, I want the power to turn on to this thing. So the automatic switch, it has an on and an off and an auto. You put it on auto and it reads the voltage coming through. these batteries on the Goldwings, there's a certain voltage, 12.3 I think, when the bike is off. And then when you turn the bike on, it jumps up to 14.3. This thing detects when it gets above, I think, 12.5. And when it does, it turns it on. So therefore, this thing will turn on this thing when it detects that the bike is on. And conversely, it will turn it off when the bike is off. So hopefully that's going to work. My project for today is to get this all wired up to the battery and zip tied up to the mounting solution that I have for this, and get that working. And then all we do is wait on that wireless dongle to see if I can get my Apple CarPlay to still work, and then I don't have to drill any holes in my bike to put in a USB port and voltmeter, by the way, which I may still do, but not right away. And yeah, get everything to work. All right, well, let's get started. All right, the first thing to do is get the bike on the center stand. You can't do it one-handed, so I got to put my coffee down, unfortunately. I had the most trouble getting this bike on the center stand when I first bought it. Do you guys know Max McAllister with Traction Dynamics? He put out a video that sort of called me out on it. The problem with putting this on the center stand is that, me included, everybody thinks it's going to tip over the other way, because you literally got to get it square center before you put it up on the center stand. And I just had this uneasy feeling, and this is a 800-pound bike, was going to tip the other way. And Max said, no, it's not. You got to get both of those center stand feet on the ground, and when you do, you will feel it become solid. You could almost step back away from it and let it go with your feet on the stand and the stand on the ground, and you will feel how comfortable it is and how it will not tip over. I'm like, all right, dude, I'm going to have to take your word for it. So that's what I do now. I just tip it up a little bit. It's better to do this in hard sole shoes. I have tennis shoes on. And I press down on the center stand until I feel it ground. Right there. That took longer than it should have. It is solidly grounded now. It's not going anywhere. And then I just lift up. Just like that. Works every time. But you got to get over that fear. Got to get over that fear of it tipping over. And that's a hard fear to get over. I just had a little bit of it there. I'm like, this is going to work. It's worked for me 100 times, and yet still. I think it's made more difficult by these new bifocals because it seems like it's further over than it is. All right, center stand. Next step. Y'all check out the cool pinstripe I have on the wheel now, the red pinstripe. Bought those from Cruiseman. They look amazing. Perfect color match to the bike. I love them. There's one set for the front wheel and a set for the back wheel. I haven't installed the back wheel yet, but I'm going to get to that if I have time today. Love these. I think you can find these on Wing Stuff. If you go check out Wing Stuff's website, they have these for sale, both in burgundy and silver. I believe they come in silver. Quick update on all of today's projects. If I have time, I'm gonna install this horn in that Ford Expedition back there. They seem to have a problem, many of them have a problem, where the deep side of this horn, it's two tones here, the deep side goes south and stops playing. So now when it honks, it sounds like a freaking Prius. So I'm going to install a brand new horn if I can get in there. It's just a plug and play sort of thing. Anyway, I'm going to install that. And you guys will notice the Bronco is not in here. Brand new Bronco, y'all know. Had it for a month, maybe two. At a red light the other day, and some guy Thought it turned green before it really did. Everybody stopped, but not him, and he was behind us. So he ran into the back of us pretty good. Hit the 35-inch spare tire, never touched our bumper. But it did buckle. It buckled the tailgate that the tire's mounted to pretty good. So it's in the shop right now getting the tailgate replaced. Unfortunate, but you know, that's why we have insurance. That's why he had insurance. Anyway, looking forward to getting the Bronco back. It'll be another week. So wife is taking the Expedition, and I go to work every day on the Goldwing, which would be great if it wasn't 105 degrees every day. Anyway, that catches you up on what's going on around here. Back to the install. First step is going to be, let's take off the seat. How you like my scuff marks there? Dragging a boot over it. Oh well, character, signature, whatever you want to call it. Open the saddlebag, take off the side panel so that I can get to the bolts that release that seat. So let's take off the seat next. Yeah, you got to lower the two saddlebags to get access to the side panels, and then remove the side panels to get access to the bolt, the bolt that there's two of them, one on each side of the front of the seat, that you got to remove in order to take the seat off. And the bolt is a 6mm Allen bolt, so that's what you'll use to take it off. And it takes a little power to get that thing off, and when it breaks loose, it'll snap and make a loud noise, but don't be worried about it. That's the bolt. Be very careful when you're taking it out of the hole that you don't drop it, because it's going to go down into Never Never Land of Tupperware, and it's going to be hard to find and get. So keep a finger on it when you're pulling it out, both the bolt and the washer that's attached to it. Next thing you have to remember about these seats is they're heated, and they're connected by a wire that you have to unhook from the bike, and that's down here. That's the connection. I have found the easiest way is to slide the whole connection off of that brown plastic clip that holds it in place. Take that whole thing off of that, and then you can separate this much more easily so that you can pull the seat off. So to remove this from the brown clip that's holding it, there's just a little tab at the bottom here that you push in. And when you push in, the whole thing will slide down just like that, come off very easy. And now you can get this apart. All right, and to pull this apart, there's a little tab on the back side there at the top. You just press in on that little tab, and the whole thing will pull apart. And it's just that easy. The doors to your side bags come down. You take off the side panels. You take off the two bolts. You pull the seat up in front. They come out. There's two plastic grommets that some plastic spikes fit in, and those just pull straight up. Then you unhook the seat power, and you just pull straight off, and there it is. You'll notice I have my Pathfinder LED power hub here. I have an installation video of that, but it allows me to hook up a whole bunch of things at one time. I don't believe this power source for the wireless phone charger can fit in there, and if it does, I don't know how. It's designed, the adapter I bought is designed to hook straight to the battery, so that's what I'm going to do. If you want to know a lot more in-depth, detailed instructions on how to take your seat off and do other things, let me suggest that you go check out Cruiseman's channel, and he also has some videos for sale that will more than pay for themselves. I've said it before, but it's absolutely true. I have referenced them so many times in the 7 months I've owned this bike. So anyway, on with this install. Let's try to find a way now to snake the power cord from here underneath, somehow underneath, somewhere and get it over here and get it to the battery. That's the next task. Anytime I'm trying to snake something through the bike frame or chassis, I use one of these extra large, huge zip ties. I have no idea what people would use these for normally, but for me it's a snake to get through the inner workings of the bike and pull a cord through. So that's what I'm going to use to try to find a hole. All right, dang it. Just ran into a serious problem. That's a serious problem. Back in a moment. I was hoping I could find a way to snake it through here, down along this side and over to the battery. I poked around and just couldn't find. I really don't want to take all this off. Couldn't really find a hole on this side, but on a whim, I went around to this side and stuck it in on this side. And lo and behold, it comes out down here. That's awesome. That's where I'm going to run my wire, somewhere underneath this side. I imagine the other side has components like whatever the mechanism is for the parking brake and some other things, so it's just too crowded in there. But this will work. I can route it through here, route it over, and straight to the battery. Not a problem. Okay, let's do this. Success. Snake is out, wire is through, other end right here. Yeah, we're going to be good. Next step, let's install this. All right, I think we're in business here. Connected the black to the negative battery terminal. And I have a lot of things, 1, 2, 3 things connected to that. I'm pretty much at my max there. Same deal with the hot, 1, 2, 3 connected. So I've got this line right here from the new device connected in there. Seems to be all solid. I think everything will go back in place. I think with the screwdriver I chipped my paint right there. That sucks, but whatever. Anyway, got it all routed up through here. To this device, which is just going to sort of sit in here as the switch. And then I've got it all wrapped together here, zip tied very tightly, USB connected right here, and they provide this little rubber boot that effectively makes this watertight as well. That's great. And then of course the wire heading back up front, which I hope I have enough of. I guess I should have checked that before I... Yeah, I may need to redo that. Anyway, we're in business. I think we're all set here. Well, good. I got the obligatory bringing of blood out of the way. Cannot do a project without that. So excited. Got it out of the way. Now, let's continue. All right, before we go much further, let's bench test this thing. Well, it's not a bench, but let's test it before we close everything back up. First we're going to go to the switch here. If you can see that. Looks like on is this way, off is in the middle, and auto is this way. So I just have it click towards auto and it ought to work. So let's connect. I've got it mounted up here. Let's just connect this. Okay, got that connection in there. Got a rubber seal, so now it's weatherproof. Let's turn on the bike. Now turning on the power shouldn't do anything, but turning on the bike should turn it on. All right, power is on, but that little light is not lit up. So no power is going to the phone charger. Let's start the bike. Oh, looks like it's alive. We have a light. That's awesome. Well, we have a problem. It's not turning off. And I think that's because, my volts, when the battery is putting out 12.6 volts. I don't think this turns off until it gets below 12.5. Ugh. Now I'm not sure what to do. Dang it. All right, I think I found a workaround. Hang with me here, I'll show you what I mean. Bike is off. Powered accessory is off, light is off. So I'm going to turn on the accessory power on the bike. Not enough to turn this on, which it shouldn't be. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the bike. And it turns on the power like it should. And so here was my problem. Turn off the bike and it should eventually turn off the power because the battery has to get below 12.5 amps. Well, my battery is putting out 12.6. It never gets low enough. Ugh. But then I accidentally did this. Watch this. Turn on the accessory power again, not the bike. And it turns it off. I don't know why. Now I can turn the bike off. And the power's permanently off. Now, I need to remember to do that every time or it's going to drain my battery. But I think I'm okay with that. Two-step turning off process. Yeah, I think that'll work because I don't have any other options. I thought about removing the leads from the battery down here and connecting them to the accessory terminal in my power accessory hub. But I'm not sure about the volts that this thing pulls. And sorry, you electricians, I may be speaking just gibberish. But I think this device might be too powerful for my hub, is the gist of what I'm trying to get at. So I'm afraid to sort of stick it there on the accessory line into my power accessory hub. Which LED lights don't typically present a problem, but something that's charging your phone might be pretty powerful, so I'm afraid to put it there. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to do my two-step turn-off process to make sure that turns off, and I think we're good to go. All right, let's get this bike back together. All right, she's all put back together. Got a lot of stuff crammed in here, so that doesn't exactly fit flush, but it hasn't. One of these days I'll try to fix it, but it doesn't bother me right now. Anyway, all wired up. Got the wire coming down the back of this, zip tied to the base of the ram mount underneath here and zip tied to the wire assembly that goes behind this plastic piece. So it's all clean behind here. Underneath there, zip tied over there, back down under the engine. So it's all good. All right, got my phone mounted to it. The engine's off. So as you can see, phone is not charging right now. Okay, there's a little battery indicator. It's almost, anyway, fully charged. Okay, so let's turn on the bike. Again, as expected, nothing because it only comes on when the bike is running. So let's start the bike. And there we go. It is charging. That is so cool. All right, got it off. Light is on. Kill the power. Light's going to stay on unless I turn on the accessory real quick. And then it will turn off. Okay, turns off. Turn off the bike. It stays off. Yeah, it's a little bit of an extra step. I don't guess I care about that. I don't really have any other options right now. Okay, successful installation of the weatherproof wireless phone charger from Quadlock with the dampener so it doesn't rattle it to death, mounted to a ram mount and tucked away tightly. Turns on when the bike turns on, turns off sort of when the bike turns off. Anyway, it's already hot out here, guys. Whew. Thanks for joining me today, channel. See you again soon. Until then, ride safe and God bless.